The other interesting one is the other Bowden's got Aaron Davey.
Friday night football then, about to get underway. Umpire Allen bounces it down. White has to wait. Edged under the football. Is going to get a free kick. The umpires tonight, Vozza, Stevic and Allen. That's coming back to Jeff White. Looks out towards the wing immediately. Finds Rivers. Running down towards half forward. Nobody near him. Kicks inside the forward 15. Neats surrounded. Can he get a run? Robertson from the side. Davey deep in the pocket. And this is everything according to the umpire. Not sure he did, but that's what the umpire said. Now, the aim of the goals, according to the tribunal, that should be 6 points.
Patrick Bowden's got the job on Davey. That's interesting. He likes to get himself free, but he cannot relax for 1 minute on Aaron Davey.
Well, Joel Bowden straight away to his brother. It's been talked about all week, and he's done it again. Tuck chips the kick. Dave Johnson, the target, couldn't take the mark. Uzo, the spoiler, still alive. Pickett rolls it past the boundary. Chippendale's beaten him to it, though. The delivery perfect to Delidio. Chippendale running to support. Can he get a kick away? Yes, but no. Trading out of bounds on the falls, and it'll be a Melbourne ball.
Kane Johnson with Uze, and James McDonald's had an outstanding season running with Brett Delidio.
The ball coming back very slowly from those Tiger fans. That is good thinking. Johnson towards the outer side. Rivers once more getting free. Green wants the football. Nobody near him. He travels down towards half forward. Probing kick inside the 50. At the back of the pack, Kellaway. Too slick there for range. Robertson dives in. Spills wide, taken by Hyde. There's going to be a free kick, and I think it might go Melbourne's way.
Good shoot, heading round the leg. Tripped him up.
Picked him up. So I think Lynden Dunn, the young man who's back into the side, debuted back in round 6. Got some talent. Let's have a look at this. Where is Lynden? There he is. And oh, gee whiz. Very hot, wasn't it?
Now the ball's with Melbourne. There's only been 2 absolutely easy possessions so far, and they've both gone to Jared Rivers, as I said pre-match. He gets into free space. Terry will look at that already and try and seize him up and choke him. He's a free man at the moment.
Lynden Dunn, and he comes and he kicks the opening goal.
The wrong ground, that girl. Unlucky, I reckon. The Tigers there. I don't know whether that was a free kick, to be perfectly honest. Just seemed to fall on Lynden Dunn. Paid that for a trip. That was what the free was paid for. And I'm not sure that was a trip, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Get a look at Simmons and White in the centre now. Next bounce down. Hit outs to advantage in the last month. Simmons is 10th and White is 5th.
Lynden Dunn with a little bit of luck gets the opener. Back in for his 9th game of the season from the ball up. Simmons, Kane Johnson, good work to Delidio. To Simmons, runs to 50, loads up long. It won't get there. Stumped through, only a behind.
And they've changed down the other end. Patrick Bowden's been taken off Davey, and he's back to his customary role as a spare man.
Carroll quickly, finds Pickett. Ample bounces on the outer side. Whelan. Uze pushing up through the middle. Alongside the centre circles. Goes down towards half-forward. Finds Robertson. He's 55 metres out from goal. Russellmania looking down towards full forward. Sets it long towards the square. Needs to mark this one from behind. Couldn't get there. Kellaway, wonderful courage. Gaspar tries to give it to Raines. Johnson deep in the pocket. Pulls it back. He's got it behind square leg. Such was the shot. Well taken by Hyde. Benefit runs it out of the back pocket. Kicks it up towards the wing. And it's going to be a relayed free kick to Johnson.
Just too late, okay?
This is where Jared Rivers is sitting behind the play here, looking to pick this off. So he's going to try and go short.
Kane Johnson, who did a brilliant job last week on Sean Burgoyne, a tagging job. Kept a player who has averaged 25 possessions a game this year, Sean Burgoyne, to just 3 last week. He's in good form, Kane Johnson. Schultz all the way back to Brown. As Gary said in the opener, broke his leg in the corresponding game against Melbourne last year. Tries to get around Neats does with a bit of style. Hasn't got a lot to go to. Long goes short. Benefit's been in good form too. It missed him. Robertson getting back in defence. Bartram, Lynden, Dunn also back in defence. They're all back there, no one to go to.
They got no one whatsoever. The only players back are the Bowden boys and Callaway without opponents.
But Jeff White's held up and goes to Wheatley. Dunn gathers off hands and Rivers. So Nix is the only man down there. Rivers held up, goes back to Robertson and he takes the mark. Now the play on the loop over the top. Johnson inside 50, cut off by Joel Bowden, and they're away on the rebound. The Tigers with 3 men.
Simmons runs to the wing, looks down towards half forward. Richardson comes on a searching lead, hits him on the chest.
Gee, that's a wonderful kick for a ruckman on the move, isn't it? That is lace out.
He is very good at that. Richardson looks for Brown, clears him. Uze wheeling back to Uze, over the top to Holland. Again, nothing forward, so he goes back to Uze, who settles, kicks between the lines, and Bruce made it look okay. Had to stretch for that one-hander.
This is the way the game's going to be played. Both teams, if this was a boxing bout, you'd say they're just throwing their left out at the moment, just feeling the strength of the opposition.
Green diving, took the mark. Dunn.
He's a push-up player, this boy Dunn, so Callaway's got to get up and play tight.
McDonald, no chance there. Rains over the top, thumps it across the boundary line.
Well, Rains has yet to find an opponent at the back there, Andrew Rains. He's now going over to Byron Pickett, who started in the centre square, but there are so many loose players around.
Speaking of Australian contenders, Simmons has started very well and he knocks it down to Hyde. Chippendale have got the spare man on the overlap on the outer side, and it's Patrick Bowden. Richardson's on the lead, that's ignored. Bowden has a couple of bounces. Schultz is waiting for it. He goes inboard to Kane Johnson, chips the kick inside 50. Might have been the wrong option. Put Hyde under immense pressure. Nathan Brown knocked it up. His kick way wide. Out of bounds on the full, and it's Bartram's ball.
Well, good pressure. You've got to put some pressure on. The other thing Melbourne will do coming out of their forward line is they'll leave Gasper and Callaway and regardless go to one of the Bowdens and leave the other players, the less skilled players, as the free players.
Melbourne by 5 points. This is Wheatley. Early going, Friday night football from the G. Pretty cool night. The conditions very good to play footy. Here's Davey, deep in his own defence, to midfield, with precision. White, is that 50? Okay, says the umpire. White squares it, back to Davey, who can run now. Davey pushing down towards half forward, into Mines, comes back towards the middle. That is a brilliant kick. And Whelan is marked 45 metres out from goal.
That's an example of them not wanting to go direct because they know that there are going to be players back. So to come across the ground,
Pickett
suits them enormously. Patrick Bowden was caught. He went to where he thought the footy was going to go. They squared the ball. Beautiful kick to Whelan.
Yep. Jeff, you've got to be 5 metres. Thank you.
Byron Pickett, directly in front, will kick from just outside the 50 to stretch the lead. Goes to his right, looking for added distance. Has it got the carry? You betcha. Hang on. Hang on. Hold the phone.
Sure, 100. Okay, all clear, hit the post.
Whoa. Gordon, you are darting in from the behind post there. The boundary umpire says it hit the post. The goal umpire must have been unsighted.
Game hour on. Jeff White goes for a breather to the bench.
Don't know, the goal umpire could have been unsighted.
How could he?
Hyde, perhaps I got it wrong. Hyde running. Oh, kicks towards the wing, ill directed. Rivers held up. Well done by Tuck. Not so well done by Tuck.
Well, Jared Rivers is the player they're going to have to put some work into because right now he's being more of a nuisance.
He played it superbly, Gary.
Corresponding loose man at the other end of the ground.
I'm sure that goal was a case of being unsighted as not hearing the nick. I don't think the naked eye could have picked up the deflection.
He has been superb so far, Jared Rivers. Only 3 disposals, but he's forced Richmond to take a secondary option probably 4 times on other occasions just by where he positions himself.
coming off a 17-possession, 7-mark game last week. Jared Rivers across the face a little and slams into that post, and this one is seen.
Yeah, I think like that one.
Kennedy spleen on the other post. There's Kellaway. It's a good kick, or is it? Johnson gets back. Couldn't hang on. Patrick Bowden from half-back. Scrambles a kick towards the wing. Rains missed the football. Rivers went down. Joe Bowden tried to hand pass forward. He missed the footy. Down goes Davey. Tackled by White. So as a result, the Tigers get it back. Clever by Joel Bowden. Delidio right on the wing. Tuck's got it now. Forward at the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50. Richo, can he mark this one? Got a glove to it. Spills to the back of the pack. Here's a chance for Pettifer. Surrounded by demons. Gets it away. Wonderful. Kicked his head.
And this boy Kane Pettifer, there's been a while between his arrival at the Richmond Footy Club and when he's turned it on. He's turned it on under Terry Wallace and really kicked on this year in Terry's second year. He was a high draft choice and he was a midfielder, a 6-foot, touch over 6-foot midfielder who dominated the under-18 competition but never had the fitness required at AFL. Now under Terry, really showing his colours.
Certainly is. Pick 9 in that draft. Top 10 pick back in 2000. His 6th season now. And it's gone number 24 for the season for Kane Pettifer. Polo tried to get it away.
Definitely hitting high. Thanks, Brett. Right there.
Uzo gets the free for 2 high, as you heard. Godfrey. A late replacement for Brock McLean. Late withdrawal, as the doc explained at the start of the game. Short pass is okay. Robertson gathers his own crumb, but he's been way out of form. Russell Robertson just for 7 possessions and 1 mark and 1 goal last week, and that virtually came that goal when the game was over. Down to TJ.
Yeah, well, Aaron Davey, Dwayne, has seen off his second opponent. Chris Hyde's been on the phone to Terry Wallace. Good 30 seconds now.
Simmons over the football, gets a hand pass away. Patrick Bowden towards the boundary. Delidio running out of space. They did okay. Foley to Polo. Drives it high towards the wing. Richardson, fingertips to it. Arriving quickly, Bartram. Richo, strong tackle, fought back into the contest. Bit stiff not to get a kick. Down goes Cracker. Bartram once more fights on. Doesn't really want to release the football. Over the football, Rivers. Socket forward by Polo. About 2 metres. He wanted to go after it. Cracker's in there. Gee whiz. Eventually, the hand pass from Johnson came to Rivers. Tigers fans upset. Ball to half forward. Patrick Bowden once more.
Had to be a free kick back then. Bartram took him on. Richo chased him down.
As Foley. Patrick Bowden. Now Kellaway looking towards half forward. Steps around Dunn, the would-be tackler. Sends it long towards the half-forward flank, as it turns out. Initially wanted to go down the middle. Too easy for Holland, able to punch it away from Richo.
I reckon this is how they got their way back into it here. Richmond, their tackling in the last couple of minutes been superb. Maybe red hot, but he was then trapped the footy. Most times they would have paid it.
They're letting it go on as Foley is allowed to get the handball to Delidio. Goes to the goal square. Getting back, Carroll, and he takes the mark. Nice strong mark last on defence. Had the best part of 8 goals kicked on him last week by Daniel Bradshaw. Started on Bradshaw and finished on Bradshaw. Pickett to Godfrey. Whelan. Had Whelan work for it. And back to Godfrey again. Chip kick. Half forward. Dunn down there. Got hands to it. Kellaway. Good pressure. Sylvia trying to shuffle it out. Back to Godfrey. Third possession in this string of play. Inside 50 to Neitz. Gasper wearing him well. Neitz gathers it. Gasper's got him. Gets the handball out. Just in time. Bruce the snap. Off hands. Rolling ball. Uze couldn't trap it. Behind.
Jeez, covering some ground. Cam Bruce. Dean Polo. Big trust shown in Dean Polo. He's been given the job on Cam Bruce, following him around. Was he playing his 10th match?
Here's White running from half-back. Wayne's inside the centre square. High ball towards half-forward. Tuck sets himself in front. Couldn't hang on. Trying to force a passage. Brown. Diving in was Carroll. Over the football.
Now, thanks.
Tuck once more. And we'll have a ball up about 55 metres out from the Tigers' attacking goal.
That's a good scoreline for the Tigers, considering the disparity in the time in possession.
Sylvia tries to hammer it out. Ricochet back towards him.
Now, Joel Bowden just floating across half back on his own, so obviously Melbourne content to have that situation.
Looking at that record, something's got to give tonight. Jamar knocked it down. Cracker tried to go through in the opposite direction. Pickett, Pettifer, got it away to Brown. In desperate trouble, Brown. Kept it going, though. Chance for Foley, falling to the ground. Polo, missed Pettifer. Now an opportunity off the ground for Bruce. Runs it out towards the wing. Leading back is Tambling in one direction. Coming up, Robertson, taken by Bruce. Hand passes forward intended for Dunn. Socket away by Rains. Taken by Joel Bowden, who settles across the ground. Kellaway. And the Tigers with another wave to half forward. Simmons had to wait. Jamar flew over the top. Colin lays it off to Pickett. Pickett coming up the ground. Left down like a Pauline Creed. The hand pass comes back to Jamar from Bartram. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Next went back. Taken by Uze. Lost control. Rains to Joel Bowden.
Game living up to all expectations at the moment. Joel Bowden just has a breather. Stops. And chips the kick.
This boy's come on and playing on Aaron Davey. Just a terrific couple of efforts earlier.
White, short pass, Tambling. Strong mark, needed to take that. He's growing with each game now. He's Tambling. Inside 50. Kick not so good. And it's been marked by Wheeler.
That last Melbourne entry forward was a 2-on-5. They're going to start to think about that. They can't keep belting it into Neitz and Robertson against 5.
Godfrey goes wide to Robertson, who takes the mark on the wing. And has a breath. Byron Pickett, will he take them on again? Pokes it to the midfield. Not a bad option. He had free Bartram.
Now we saw Robbo mark the ball out on the wing. His opponent, Joel Bowden, that's him in the middle of the screen there, just inside 50. And that frees up Robbo here. Now Joel will try and pick it off at the other end. There's his brother.
Dunn tracks it away from the 50. Back to Robbo, 75 metres out. Goes long down towards Neitz. Can he get a run? Almost out of his hands. Trying to force a passage wide towards Uze. Uze still keeps it alive. Interesting kick across the face of goal. Still Tigers there. Tippendale. Patterson in trouble. Taken down. Was he taken high? And the umpire decides he will ball it up.
What he's got at the moment is basically whichever side can get their forward 50 sorted out and present a more dangerous option. They're almost conceding possession through the middle of the ground. They've just got to get dangerous in their forward half.
Patterson in just his 12th game up against White in the ruck. White got the palm down. Johnson breaks through, gets it to Sylvia. Handball over the top. Put Bartram under pressure. Still under pressure. Gone.
Great tackling.
Joel Bowden's ball.
Saw that Melbourne through the week in the paper, one of the best, if not the best tackling side in the competition, and the Tigers are matching them.
Joel to Patrick Bowden again, second time for the game. Finds Pettifer on the wing, pokes it over the top. White took a couple of steps.
Now Troy Simmons has gone forward, which makes Rivers go to him. That's out of bounds on the full.
Rains took the mark, tried to claim it, so he'll have to give it away.
Oh, that's a waste. Dunn getting plenty of it. We bring the best out on Friday Night Football, and this young man, Tracker, wanted to mark, nothing doing. Robbo taken front of him by Pettifer. Godfrey, Johnston breaks a tackle. Well, came back to him very quickly, not his intention. He was surprised. He miscues with a kick, uncharacteristically. Over the football is Sylvia. He's about 60 metres out from goal. Smothered brilliantly by Foley. He was going to release it, held onto it, and has plenty of support. Bowden close to the boundary line. Richo marked it, but across the line.
I'm not sure Richo up on the wing is going to worry Melbourne too much. It's neither side can get a winning forward at the minute. That's why we're stuck at 1 goal apiece.
Patterson has gone into the ruck, and that has afforded Troy Simmons to go to full forward, and that makes Jared Rivers accountable. So perhaps Richo's decided to get on the bike while Simmons is playing behind him for a few
Probably
minutes.
fancies himself up around the ground on Ben Holland,
Yep.
but I don't reckon it'd be of grave concern.
Holland and Carroll working a little 1-2. Holland himself a former Tiger. Has the ball on the wing. Green comes hard. That's a good kick. Well taken. Strong lead from Green. Running at about 12 on the stimp meter right there. Pops it out wide. Dropping back. McDonald. Comes back to Green.
Yeah, now this is what you're talking about, guys. They kicked to a 2-on-4 before.
Yep.
Now they've just, if Richmond want to put 18 back, Melbourne have to say, let's not panic, let's own the footy. If they want to let it concede possession, we're not going to hand it to them on a platter. Just own the footy and do with it as we like, and something eventually will unfold.
Johnston goes across the ground, going back as Schultz, almost a win for footy. Schultz has got it. He's paid the mark, is he?
Yep.
Yes.
Free kick, I reckon.
Free kick,
Well, he's alongside the centre circles, and that's good to see. Lanes, another attack inside. Patrick Bowden around the outer side, 75 metres out, goes long down towards full forward. Pettifer had it knocked away by Wheatley out of bounds.
Matthew Richardson had Travis Johnston, that's the free kick, on his own in the goal square, and the Tigers elected to go to the pocket. That is a good grab, isn't it, for Mark Jamo?
Well, tipped into time on opening term. Kane Johnson couldn't quite trap it. Middle of the pack. McDonald, Green, around the boundary line, bouncing ball, Dunn. Came a long way down to lend assistance. Patrick Bowden. Foley dives in, nearly met high. Play on. Sylvia. Everybody saw it. And the main man, Michael Vozzo, was right there.
Well, they're worth it as a free kick, no doubt. They're worth their weight in gold at the minute, goals. So you've got to go in good hands with Greg Tivendale. Well, Colin Sylvia had a great game last week. He's picking up the tempo, but he just rushes a little bit.
Greg Tivendale is one of those blokes who has just a majestic, fluent kicking action, but doesn't always get the job done. That's the reverse standing on the mark syndrome.
If ever I've heard famous last words, that's them.
He's kicked 8 this season. From just inside 50, he gets under it. Could have given the Tigers the lead, but he doesn't. And you're spot on, Derm. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah, you are.
He's kicking from 55.
There's Green again, getting busy from half back. Beautiful weighted kick. Whelan doesn't have to break stride. Comes back towards the middle. Wheatley, who is a long kick, runs to the wing. Kicks inside the 50. But coming to the ball quickest, Bowden, Joel Bowden this is, takes the mark, plays on. What's that? Hammers the ball towards the middle. Get it if you can. White, tackled by, you guessed it, down he went. Hand pass comes from Tuck to Joel Bowden, keen to make amends. Kicks it to Rivers.
He's good at reading the ball in flight and working out.
Well, Carroll got back and he took the mark. Wheeler. And in flirting his two teams, but they've been taking chances, which is good to see. Carroll gets it back from Wheatley. Now he goes wide, and Lynden Dunn takes the mark inside 3 minutes. A point the difference. Popped over the top to Holland, getting away from Richardson. Too far out to score.
Neither coach is willing to reveal their hand at poker here yet.
You just got to work out which forward line is suffering the most. And I would have thought coming in, well, they've both been in good form, but I almost would have backed Neitz against Gasper and Davey and Pickett if he's down there. Just try and manufacture some one-on-one stuff. I reckon tonight, more than any other night so far this year, you can discount stats because there's just been some give-ups in the middle of the ground.
Neitz has had a few one-on-ones, but when the ball's hit the ground, it's been a 4-on-2, a 3-on-1 or something like that. But he's had a few one-on-ones and Gasper's done okay.
Green to extend Melbourne's lead, not bad off the boot, across the face. Only a behind. Do you ignore all stats, even the ones that say Joel Bowden and Patrick Bowden have had 19 possessions between them?
Well, you read them for
you
another reason.
Written a script on that before the game started.
Blocking.
Could you not?
Now look at this Richmond.
He grabbed and wouldn't let go.
In the centre of the ground. Now that's a good strategy, the kicking strategy. I'll explain it after Joel Bowden takes this one. Goes to a standard stop.
Actually, as Patrick goes inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken down there by Bruce. Go ahead, Dylan, explain it.
Yeah, Gasper's one from the fullback goal square up to centre half forward. Now Richmond all came out onto one flank, led to the other. So what's happened is if there's a quick rebound, it means Neitz is not there to receive. Neitz didn't want to run, and he put a tackle on Gasper, and the third umpire saw it, and that's why the free kick went up the ground.
That's a beautiful segue because it's back with Neitz now. He goes across the ground and White's taken the mark. Richo is coming off the ground.
And as you see from that play, they look forward, and even if there is congestion, you'd like to kick to David Neitz. He still isn't inside 50. He's run in just now.
There's Carroll. Got it from Bartram. Kicks down towards half forward. Too tall for Pickett. Getting back is Foley. Releases Joel Barton. He's pushing up towards the wing. Get another possession for the Bartons then. Towards half forward. Pettifer will need to go. Coming over the top was Holland. Plenty of demons around. Rivers lays it off. Wheatley goes in short. Mark is held by Godfrey.
And he's put that lace out, Joel Bowden. Came Pettifer could have been having a set shot, at goal.
You have to say that Neil Donohoe is just content to have Patrick Bowden have 30 possessions because he still hasn't got an opponent. Would have known that going in, but clearly they're happy for it to happen.
Robertson's on the wing, and this might be the last piece of play for the quarter. Chip kick, and it's cut off by Kellaway.
Well, he's going down the seconds. Patrick Bowden, is he? Or someone sidearm's going to go. There's one man trying to guard three.
Let's sneak one more Bowden possession in before quarter time.
There's number 11, 22 between the Bowden brothers.
Well, you count that, do you, Dunn?
Well, there you go. You've got to throw.
He got a mark, but not a possession. That was Patrick on the siren.
You always kick it back the umpy after the siren's blown just to get your stats.
Actually, you were with me, weren't you, Dwayne, down in Launceston when I gave Patrick a Joel? But you let me go ahead. I just rushed in there and said, "How you doing, Joel?" He said, "Not bad, Bruce."
That was at the airport before we left.
He was gracious. He gave me a Bruce. 1-4 to 1-2 at quarter time. Friday night football.
What makes Saturday Central so great? Is it the guests?
Mate, you've got to get talked up when you win 9 out of 10. Yes, we're going okay.
If I had have stayed at Hawthorn, I would have decided to, hang up the boots.
Do you honestly think you can win the flag? If we get there with some good form, you never know what could happen.
Your emails.
There is no greater player advocate than the Duck.
Or the hosts.
Well, what's going on with that article?
You are showing your ignorance here, Wayne.
Saturday Central. Live and exclusive from midday. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman Returns tumblers are now landing at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any value meal, and then for $2.50, you'll receive a Superman Returns collectible 3D tumbler. Collect all 4 and leap into Hungry Jack's now.
Get it hot and get it now at Harvey Norman. Latest release from Canon. Record straight to DVD on this ultra-compact DVD camcorder. Quality widescreen recording, only $795. It's getting even easier to be a movie maestro. The touchscreen LCD on this Sony DVD Handycam makes operation simple. Just $796. And Panasonic's multi-format DVD digital video camera was advertised in our catalogue for $842. Price now crashes in-store to a hot $799. Remember, Harvey Norman won't be beaten on price.
Go!
Whatever code of footy you're into, Rebel Sport have got you covered. We're your one-stop supporter shop. If your passion is AFL, you'll find everything you need in store, including official team Guernseys, polos, caps, scarves, beanies, towels, balls, mugs, beers, car accessories and more. Get out there and show your true colours in style with the great range of AFL supporter merchandise available, and all at the lowest prices guaranteed. Rebel Sport, your football destination. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
There's a lot more action at Rebel Sport. Rebel Sport. Behold the mighty God! Behind the wall!
King Kong. Watch it now on Foxtel Box Office.
Join us on Tuesday. It's our 80s Spectacular. And guess who's on Piggy? Jason Dunstall. Plus a man simply called Sellers. Yes, Mark McClure from Carlton.
Then join Ron Barassi for some great 1986 moments from the Fox Footy Vault. All part of your legendary Tuesday night lineup right here on Fox Footy.
decent build-up for Friday night footy, but not a lot of action early in that quarter time here. 2 points to margin in favour of Melbourne. Lynden Dunn got them away with 1 goal. Kane Pettifer for the Tigers. I'll tell you why, 184 disposals in the quarter. Only 7 of those were inside Richmond's forward 50. Melbourne only had 12 disposals inside forward 50. So both sides content to give the footy up around the ground, but not inside forward 50, Dunn.
Well, look, Terry Wallace knows he's playing against a team that's kicked 70 goals in the last 4 games. That's a big haul. So look at the numbers there. Richmond, 1, 2, 3, 4 players. It wasn't 1-on-1. Well done by Gasper. The kick was to his advantage, and only 2 Melbourne players. So Terry's obviously thinking 70 goal per month team. I got to choke this game up and make sure we get late in the game before it widens open. And the same happens at the other end. Pettifer's the target there because he's the only one with foot speed or endurance enough to run back. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players to 2 within about 8 metres of the drop of the ball. So it's not going to be free scoring, but as long as we have a contest, I'm very, very happy to sit here and watch this game of chess football. Dennis.
Get a feeling that it's in favour of the Tigers at the minute. Let's go down to Tony Jones to the boundary.
Well, I was just going to say, it is like a game of chess at the moment at the quarter-time breaks. Neither coach getting too carried away. Brian Royal from the Tigers camp spent much of that break having looked to see what the Demons were up to, and Matthew Richardson spent the last quarter, a minute and a half of that last quarter on the bench, but he is now starting on the field. So another intriguing term coming up.
Friday night football, ideal conditions at the MCG. White taps it down. Coming through was Pickett. Couldn't control it. Tambling knocked it forward. Delidio somehow got out of there. He's on the wing. Hooks it across his body. Clever kick. Polo plays on immediately. Tuck cruising past the 1 bounce. At the 50, dragged down by Johnston. Got boot to ball. Carroll's in front. Run down by Schultz. In goes Tambling. Dragged to the ground. Opportunity for Rivers in the opposite direction though. Bruce emerged with the football. Got free. Over the head of Pickett. It runs away from him and goes across the boundary line.
Pride themselves on their tackling Melbourne, and that was just a great chase from Travis Johnston. Didn't give it up once. Tuck trying to get within range, and that just saves a score.
Ball back into play. White with the palm down in McDonald's direction. Boundary line looming. The handball back to White. Kick away just in time. Dunn. Beautiful pick up on the half volley. Handball couldn't find the target. Tambling spears the pass to Pettifer.
That's good play by Tambling. Accepted well. 3 or 4 paces at blistering speed. Off the mark and lace out.
Pettifer held up. It's the call. Sends it high inside 50. Chance for Richardson to fly from 4 deep over the back. Schultz.
Well, that's more valuable than any possession of the ground so far. And we've had, 200 of them. Because there's nothing else on. And he's able to go in and take a big contested mark. And outnumbered, more Melbourne defenders and Richmond forwards.
See Jared Rivers in front there too, Gary. He is the loose man in defence for Melbourne, and he does it superbly. At the other end, it's Patrick Bowden. So to take it against your direct opponent and the loose man dropping right underneath the fall of the ball, that's an exceptional grab.
2 goals you saw from just 6 possessions last week against Port Adelaide. Has the kick to give Richmond the lead. They're in front by 4.
Well, it is hard going if you're a forward tonight. It is really hard going. Nathan Brown down there got no space to work in. Richo's competing 1 against 2 at the other end. Neat's also 1 against 2 and 3, and Robertson. So if you can bob up and take a couple of big pack marks, they're worth 4 or 5 under normal circumstances, and then to go back and kick truly is just so critical. It's going to give, some stage it'll give, just wondering which side it'll be.
Joe Schultz, who booted 2 of their first 3 goals last week against Port Adelaide, gets their 2nd goal tonight and puts the Tigers on top by 4 points. Bucks go at it, very conscious of each other in mid-air. Polo's been very good at getting the hard ball out. Simmons pushed in the back, he'll get the free kick. So agile for a big man. Catlight goes after the football on the ground, having contested in the air. Spots Rains. Metres in the clear. Rains towards half forward, pushing up the ground. It's taken by Bowden. Patrick. He's about 80 metres from goal to Hyde, who can take it and go. Hyde kicks inside the forward 50. Can they take another mark? Not this time. Jeff White drifting back. Uncontested. Spots Davey on the defensive 50. Will he run? Yes, he will, but nothing up ahead. Boundary line might be his friend, although Pickett, a close friend, comes across on the assist. Pickett with pace. Davey goes on the shepherd. Pickett pushes up the ground. Goes to Rivers. Rivers runs to 50. Can he get a long goal? The kick is on its way. I think he has. The quick reply as the game starts to open up.
That's the other alternative. If you lose Dermot, don't sit back on your backside. Kick forward at the right time.
Well, look, Patrick Bowden is his corresponding number at the other end, and some people would suggest that Patrick, the most uncontested marks in the comp, very high on possessions. Now, what do you do to counteract that? Well, Jared Rivers, in my mind, is probably playing the loose man in defence position better than anyone in the comp at the moment.
Really starting to grow now. Jared Rivers, 4th season on the list, drafted back in 2002. Even though he won the NAB Rising Star in 04. Last season wasn't great, but this one has been superb. The takeaway, what a grab by Richo. He's due a bit of luck. Goes long to the goal square and he doesn't get it with a shot. Only a behind.
Just back on the Rivers goal, so critical because now Bowden has got, Patrick that is, he's got something to think about. He can't do exactly what he wants, which is pretty well what's happened in this game so far. He's got to keep half an eye out for Rivers coming down with general play.
It's amazing. Uze is playing half forward flank and Kelvin Moore's against him, but Uze's trying to tag Patrick Bowden, brings Moore with him, so he's prepared to play himself against two opponents.
Godfrey got it from McDonald, chips beyond the wing, getting a fist in there as Joel Bowden goes back, wins the ball on the ground, got it to his brother. Patrick off his step. As luck would have it, it bounces to Richardson. Richardson forward at the wing, looks to the middle. Deledio, it's open for him. He can run to the 50. Can he get the distance? No, it floats down towards Brown. Whelan comes back. Brown tried to manufacture something. Didn't succeed. Colin, Pickett, and around the outer side come Melbourne now. Tivendale just dropping back, about a kick ahead of him. He's backpedaling. Pickett, meantime, comes to Bartram. Bartram looks down towards the attacking 50. Neitz is in front. Was he pushed in the back? He's going to get a free kick. Grab the arm, says the umpire.
Jamar is loitering down near the goal square. He can have a sit, a run at it, and a sit if he's broken up now. Haven't seen him, Nita?
How can you miss Jamar? He's down there like a tic-tacker at Royal Ascot.
He's still got Kane Johnson as his... Well, that was a slow play, a bad slow play.
Pickett comes back to McDonald. That was terrible by Melbourne.
He's just trying to be a bit careful at the wrong time.
There's Carroll, run down, got boot to ball. Somehow, there been a couple of them. Knocked down, new hand passes straight to Davey. And Davey hits the Tigers from long range.
I will say this, if you look at this on replay, this is the free kick, and from that angle you'll also see that if we get that shot there. Now, Joel actually handballs this thinking, I can back out of here, instead of just saying, right, I've got to hit the target and I'll take the punishment.
24th goal of the season for Aaron Davey. First goal for tonight. One of the goals of the year last week, and that was pretty good as well. From the ball up, Jamar in the ruck tried to steal it. Tuck grabbed it. Pettifer plays it to his own advantage. Half held by Wheatley. Umpire allowed play on. Rivers over the top to Dunn. Pokes the pass in the direction of Godfrey. He took a step.
So that's good play by Godfrey. He knows his limitations. He wasn't going to outrun an opponent.
Goes to the pocket to Robertson, who dives. His characteristic style throws his body at it. And will line up from just inside 50.
Just opening up a bit, Dermot. The point here, the give and go is a big thing in footy where you sort of can give and get it back, and that's, I think, what you're alluding to.
Yeah, he was thinking he was going to back out of that one and miss the contact. You know, he turned his shoulder. He's going to give that, and he started a backward pedal. and probably try and get out the back door instead of just hitting the target and taking some punishment from the tackler.
Normally accurate that. From the time it left the boot look through, and it hits the inside the post of the high.
And then they put it in the book pipe.
Beautiful work.
We all did.
Bowden, Patrick, into the path of Moore, running out of space. Joel Bowden there, deftly. To Rains at left half back. Melbourne by 8. And in the last few minutes looking the better team. Rains, the short one. White.
Hasn't had much to do, Andrew Rains, because, well, the Richmond both backlines haven't been under pressure when they won the footy. They've seriously outnumbered their opponents.
Simmons, back to White. Still inside the centre square. Pretty congested up ahead. Plenty of Melbourne players in particular, but Carroll gets into the back of Schultz.
Here it is. Nice try, though.
And despite the numerical advantage down there, it stands for nothing.
Probably in the end you'd say it's a low percentage play, but it's come off.
It's not going to make the distance there. He's going to go to the top of the square.
We've gone the bomb. Bannerwood's full forward. Richo got hands to it. They fell on him. Down goes Bartram. And the umpire will ball it up. Well, it's come to that, boys. We have the bomb.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to kick to the top of the square, you still have to make the ball reach maximum heights. But backmen will read that and think it's coming all the way to the line.
With a slower ball. Tuck. Deledio in trouble. Carroll emerges with it. It's going to be a Melbourne free kick. So what he should have done was kick it higher.
Kick it higher.
And then all the Richmond players swarm down.
But then what happens is, if you kick it softly but just as high, it drops 15 metres further out instead of dropping on the line where a ball kicked hard and that high would.
Aduzera. Around the outer side goes Robertson. This game is amazing. In front, Gaspar. Bruce, Polo, like that young man. The hand pass though a bit too slick. Sylvia, Jamar, Godfrey is through, 45 metres out, doesn't kick too many goals, and that's why.
Last minute or so, the James McDonald tackle on Deledio in the back half, magnificent. A big hit there, the pressure's gone up a little bit, and the Tigers have made a couple of mistakes.
White to Deledio. Might take on Byron Pickett, which is the dangerous thing to be doing. Kellaway over the top to Kelvin Moore. Pickett wants him as well, just misses him. Rains, right into Jamar. The gang tackle. Is it ball? No, it'll be ball up.
Again, though, the pressure, relentless pressure, going at the ball carrier, putting them under, and they start to make mistakes.
The good thing about that, I'm wrapped for Andrew Rains. It would have been easy for him to fumble that, getting shadowed by that man as he came towards him, Jamar.
Got it down to McDonald, he got it to Green, who gets it to Robertson, who runs away from Bowden, kicks inside 50, Sylvia and Kellaway. With judgment, Kellaway. Patrick Bowden, the outer side to brother Joel, and he's got plenty of space. A little bounce, a chip kick, hoping for and not quite finding Cracker. Got the handball up to Kane Johnson. Now Rains, long to the pocket. Down there is Nathan Brown. Whelan, good slap away. Boundary line is friend and he wants it. Doesn't want it. He wants Byron Pickett. Bouncing ball. Bounced unkindly for him. Kindly for Tambling. Caught though. Got the handball out. And Whelan mops it up. Chips it over the top. McDonald, he can spot a target inside 50. Hasn't got a lot to go too short. He's got Davey, hits him.
Melbourne looking better at the moment. Godfrey right on the 50. Too far out to score. Robertson is behind them all. Will he fly? You betcha.
Now, what about the Robertson versus Joel Bowden battle? We've sung the praises of Joel Bowden, but he's been getting cheapish possessions. Robertson's now up to 12 himself, his direct opponent. So, in the end, Terry Wallace got to make a call on that. All nice and well having one bloke being creative and running the footy out, but I reckon possessions inside forward 50 are worth 6 cheap ones on the way out.
Robbo.
That is a gem. That's
directly in front. He's kicked at least one goal in every game this season. In fact, the streak extends to the last 18 games. In he comes. Make it 19 on the trot.
definite swing in the last 6 or 7 minutes, and I reckon it's on the back of a really increased push from Melbourne in terms of pressure on the opposition. Rather than letting them take their time and dance down the field, just leave your man, go to the ball carrier, and expect and demand that someone behind you comes up and puts pressure on the next bloke. And I still think if they can get it in there quick enough, that quick movement will suit Melbourne more.
A Russell Robertson special makes it 3 goals in a row for the Demons. They're out to their biggest lead of the game, 14 points from the ball up. Sylvia.
Oh, Ivy's back!
You heard it. Free kick for the Demons. Sylvia will take it.
Thank you.
Tigers did hit the lead earlier in this term, but it's been all Melbourne since then. White. Handball to Travis Johnston. Inside 50, couple of targets, and Green takes the mark. Robertson was there, but he called Green into it.
He came from the opposite half-forward flank. He ran into forward 50, led out to the other side, to the southern side of the ground, and then doubled back and came right across that plane there, directly across the ground.
And his opponent is the other Bowden, Patrick. So he can get lots of touches, but at the end of the day, these are what win games, goals.
Been in good form, 30 possessions last week and 2 goals won. Starts at left and brings it, not back enough. Only a behind.
Bit of borrow there. Feel Danaher feeling better, no doubt, about things at the moment. Margin 15 points. In the context of the game, that's a fair bit. Devondale goes very short. Rains has got it. 30 plays 15.
That's a great point, Dennis, but Terry Wallace would be saying to himself, this is a team which is averaging 17 goals a game over the last month. I'll be happy to be, in this context of the game, to only be trailing by 2 or 3 in the third quarter, and then we make our play.
Good change. He's not so happy at the moment.
No.
They turned it over. Rains kicked it directly to an opponent, and now it finishes up from Green to this man Rivers.
Yeah, well, the thing that they've got to think about from a Richmond point of view is that the loose man, which they've played to perfection over the course of the last few weeks, it may be working against them, because that is the corresponding loose, and the other one is Robertson and Green.
Rivers from right on the 50 gives it a ride, but tugs it left.
Now, the only thing about that is, I would hazard a guess that, and it's only just an estimation, this is a turnover here by Rains, it's only just a guess or an estimation, but Melbourne are winning in enough positions at the moment that they possibly, given that Richmond don't employ their strategy, they could be 6 goals ahead. So that's probably what Terry's going to look at the moment, so limit some damage, and we're still in the game.
Richmond played the huddle. Joe Bowden played onto himself, and Delidio tucked up against the boundary. Got the hip and shoulder from Godfrey. It wasn't a good one. Foley. Joel Bowden shows the ball to Russell Robertson. Chip kick. It's okay. And who's got it? Brother Patrick.
They pushed them back. The ball's got up the wing and they pushed them back.
Yeah. You got the quick call to play on there, Patrick Bowden. Umpire didn't wait. He goes for the short pass to Adam Patterson.
Well, this builds doubt in the opposition's mind. They've been up forward to centre, they've been pushed back, and they're lucky not to flip the footy over again.
No doubting the kid, Patterson. Polo.
That cheer is for a forward movement of the footy.
Polo. Patrick Bowden. Long bomb. Inside the 50. Big leap from behind down there by Simmons. Couldn't hang on. Throwing himself in with Schultz. Carroll emerges with the footy. Well played. Comes away. Kicks it towards the boundary. Did it go out on the full? No, bounce just inside the field of play. In fact, that leap might have come from Gaspar on the forward line.
Now, I don't know how fit Nathan Brown is, but he is hopeless in the congestion of that forward line at the moment. He won't win the footy. Perhaps they could utilise his skills. This will be a ball up. Perhaps they could utilise his brilliant foot skills in the midfield for the last 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes of this second quarter. Give him a run in the centre square.
Gambling. Another very high kick off the side of the boot, this one. Forward of the pack, a chance for Pickett. Pickett. Ball to Bowden. 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 B In the opposite direction was Brown. Socketed out of there by Johnson. Kellaway tracks it. Whiskers with a hand pass, not good. Foley. That was better. Comes towards the middle. Schultz comes up to meet it. Knocked away down there by Godfrey. Carroll, adroitly done. Spinning out of trouble. Bruce and Polo. Bruce on his knees. White. Now Uze on the overlap.
Robertson short. Hits him with the pass.
Brad Green's on, and that's Patrick Bowden's man. He's asleep, Patrick.
Will he hold it up though, Green? He decides to.
Jared Rivers has done it now. Green's done it twice. The corresponding loose players sitting back, and they are now pushing into a dangerous area, and the Richmond defenders slow to react to push up on them.
Tippendale was on him in the first quarter, so he's moved off him, has he?
Well, correspondingly, yep, he's gone forward, and Patrick Bowden hasn't gone there.
Green from the 50, kicks from the paint. Again, a good kick off the boot, and again swings into the post. Have they put Whelan on Nathan Brown for the first half deliberately, do you think, given that it was Whelan that fell across his leg in the corresponding game?
I think it's the best matchup, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Hasn't touched the footy, Nathan, and in this quarter, and is now sitting on the bench.
You're starting to think like the WWE. There's Joel Bowden. The Bowden boys, eh? Hyde's got it on the wing. Getting a workout from Gaz tonight. They cough it up again. Bartram. Davey from behind. Up he goes, couldn't hang on. Look at that, like a cat. He's held without it, surely he'll get the free kick. Well, how about that? He stuck the landing to Davey. He was high, he came down, brilliantly balanced. That is superb. Well, that was held without it. You won't see better than that. You will see better than that. Patterson takes the mark, plays on, kicks inside the forward 50. Richo goes back at it, knocked away by Holland. Still Richo goes. Nobody inside the forward 50 for the Tigers except one man. That's Brown. He wants it long, but he's outnumbered. The kick comes from Deledio, then, well, Pettifer comes over the top of Carroll. And he's given away a free kick.
There's been some signs of frustration too for the Tigers. They probably need half-time, I reckon, just to settle themselves down again.
Carroll to Rivers. And they'll play the other side. Ward. He's got plenty of space in front of him. He can have 2 or 3 bounces here. It's the second. There's a fourth on offer if he wants it. There's a fifth there too. Maybe a sixth. You'll have to have it soon. There's the sixth. Chips it inside 50. Well played. Sylvia takes the mark directly out.
Yeah, Doom, I take back Bowden wasn't on Green, but when they push forward into dangerous space and you're free, your obligation is to go to the most dangerous man. And again here, you'll see this, they drop back into the goal square, the players, the three players,
retreat, don't they?
Instead of coming up, there you go, and Sylvia pushes at the footy. They automatically go to the goal square. And Melbourne now have either come with a fly to the footy or on that occasion have pushed up into dangerous space.
Just the 3 disposals so far for Colin Sylvia. Big kick this. Inside 3 minutes to half time, and he's nailed it.
Nine marks inside forward 50 to Melbourne. Richmond 1. Now, at half-time, Terry Wallace has to look at that and say, OK, we're going to get something out of Richo. At the moment, we can't because he's just not been given a chance to compete one-on-one. Are we prepared to let Melbourne continue to take marks inside 50 and us not? Or do we make some adjustments?
Margin 23 points. I think Terry would have probably just accepted 17 at half-time.
And work to be done in there right now. As Melbourne getting reward for effort. 5-8-2-3. Colin Sylvia, 7 goals on the season. Jamar down to Uze, kicks towards half forward. Godfrey lets it bounce, tracks it away from goal, feeds it back. Ward cleverly, although the kick went over the head of Uze. A chance there to be scrambled out of defence by Brown, but it's coming back. Godfrey hand passes out wide to Pickett. Pickett goes inside the 50. Robbo had it, dropped it. Rains, Foley, Joel Bowden, interesting. Back to Foley. And this one will bounce close to the boundary line, but unfortunately for the Tigers, didn't go out. Ward gave it to McDonald. Uze hugs the boundary. Godfrey takes the mark. Andor will get the free kick.
Made contact with him, Colin, but you didn't have your eyes on the ball. They made contact with him.
Working hard, Simon Godfrey, really working hard. 14 possessions, 6 marks, 6 handball receives. He's a phenomenally fit young man. He's the knock on him is perhaps he doesn't use it as well as what you would otherwise like, but you would never question his work rate. He's come back into this team and had a big impact.
Right on the boundary, and he comes. Not a bad effort. He's hit the post. How many posters is that for Melbourne now? 5 posters.
That could have made the scoreline pretty ugly, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm told now 4. 1 short. Just put your right palm on your right shoulder. Thank you very much.
I think we're heading for a record year poster-wise, though. Patrick Bowden to Kane Johnson. Chip kick, Gasper. Drifting down, takes the mark. Backtracks to the wing. A minute to half-time. Tigers could do with some momentum to go in with. Kelvin Moore. Melbourne getting players back. Don't want to concede a score. Kelvin Moore goes backwards. Foley. Now to the general, the quarterback, Joel Bowen. He chips the kick to half forward. Tivendale. They can launch one of those bombs. Big, long left foot bomb to the goal square. He doesn't. He goes short. And the spoil illegal from Whelan.
Put your hands on top of him to launch yourself up.
Left hand on the back.
Put your hands on top of him first to launch yourself up. Mark's there.
Can if you take mark of the year.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of there. He had hands over the shoulder. Simmons. Will he launch a bomb to the top of the square?
Again, all those possessions are useless until they get one inside 50.
Nathan Brown takes the mark. He might sense that he's too far out. Siren might beat them. He goes with a high kick. Patrick Bowden. Good spoil. Not clear of him. And that'll be the last play, you would think, of the half. And a good one for the Demons.
Typical Simon Godfrey stuff, that. And yeah, I think it comes at a good time for Richmond, because 4 posters could have had this scoreline looking a hell of a lot uglier than it is. So they've got some work to do at half-time.
They have got a lot of rejigging to do to the Tigers, but they've been seriously outplayed. But the positive is they're still only 4 goals down.
In a low-scoring game. Let's go to the half-time break. We'll be back to have a look at what's been an intriguing first half. Melbourne 5-9-39. The Tigers 2-3-15.
Sunday, live and exclusive from 2, Fox Footy hosts an intriguing clash as Carlton battles the Western Bulldogs. The Blues have shown some promising signs this season.
Straight through the centre for the young man.
However, they face a Bulldog side that may be lacking height, but they sure don't lack any talent.
He's got it!
Take control. Press red to go Fox Footy active and put yourself in the director's chair. Your Sunday starts at 2 with the Blues and Bulldogs live and exclusive. Then the Winners' Weekend Wrap, followed by Magpies Dockers, then Cats Power.
Footy season is hotting up. Subscribe to Ringtone King Clubs and get your team's anthem on your mobile. For example, text Footy 18 for the Mighty Lions anthem. Or for the Maggies, text Footy 20 to 191818. How's about Footy 27 for the Power anthem? Or text Footy 30 for the Swannies. It's easy. Just text Footy and your favourite team's number to 191818 and show your support to the flaming end.
One AFL show soars above the rest with its guest list.
Andrew Demetrio, our special guest. Bomber Thompson.
I want to be more open this year, but I don't want to be that open.
Nathan Eagleton, the ball band. The Reverend Neil Danaher.
You beauty.
And Alistair Clarkson. Bombers coach Kevin Shooty.
I can see why people would have thought that, because I mentally did it myself.
So what, yourself?
Hit people.
And its expert panel's fearless critique of the game.
There was nothing short of disgraceful in the first quarter. I think he was pig-headed.
On the Couch, Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern on Fox Footy.
Friday night football at the MCG, the original tenants of this magnificent stadium going at it, and the Demons hold a 24-point lead over the Tigers. Beautiful conditions here, and a bit of work to do, it's got to be said, for the Richmond Footy Club. Just the 2 goals. Spare a thought for the housekeeper at this home. Housemates they are. Brent Hardigan on the left and Chris Newman on the right. Brent Hardigan ruptured a ligament, I think, in his foot, and obviously Chris Newman, we know, broke the leg, and I'm not sure who's doing the work.
There'll be a lot of indentations on the carpet.
No one's doing the cooking at
Well,
home.
they pinch and roll, so they don't have to sit up at the stove for the next couple of days, but we do.
Just imagine if you had the thick shag pile at home, all these indentations as they hobble around.
Well, they could do with Chris Newman, certainly, and Brent Hardigan's also a good hard nut, but let's see how this pans out at the moment, because with 2 goals on the board, they've got to find a way forward, Richmond, and they've got to find someone that can win the footy inside their forward 50. I repeat, they went inside 12 times in the second quarter and had just 4 possessions inside their forward 50, and that's not going to win you a game, so maybe they've got to try and throw a little bit of caution to the wind. Give that man the opportunity maybe to take a mark one-on-one. Hasn't had it too many times so far in the first half.
A low-scoring game, 14 scoring shots to 5, so 9 more scoring shots. And given that most league footballers operated at about 60% accuracy, they could be facing a 6.5 goal deficit. It's only 4. Yeah, I know. So that's a good rub for them.
Start of the second half, Friday night football. McDonald digs it out of the middle, kicks inside the forward 50, throwing himself at the ball down there was Moore. The Bowdens combine once more. Joel punches it out towards the wing, leading back in the race is Hyde. An early goal would be terrific for the Tigers. Simmons inside the forward 50, Richardson going back to the mark is held by Polo.
Well, there you go. Those positions of the Bowdens were fantastic because they had an opponent, they beat their opponent, and that means at the other end of the ground, it's one-on-one. I look down there, they've all got opponents, there's no one going to come off and make life difficult for young Polo, and they get a shot at goal.
Polo, most impressive this season, comes in and kicks from 35 metres. Is this the start they need? No, he's hit the post. Let's go down to the dock. This is amazing, Doc.
Well, just to mention that Cameron Bruce, fully track-suited, sitting in the back row of the Melbourne bench. So obviously not on the ground starting this quarter. No indication in the second quarter that he got injured, Dennis, but certainly he'd be out there if he was right.
Johnston to McDonald. Derm, I want you to come up with a theory for this proliferation of posters at some stage if you can. Short pass is good to Holland.
Lovely theories, but that one is just...
I reckon you're the man, though.
Yeah.
Holland, Godfrey. Caught, got a handball out in Johnston's direction, but Johnson knocked it away from Johnson and will get a ball in.
If Dunn concedes on it, I'm telling you, it's Bermuda Triangle.
There's the kicks are more accurate now, so they're not being spread as wide across the goal face from the ball in.
Since when were you Durham?
Ward, I'm trying to help him out.
I like it, though.
Doesn't get a kick away. Johnson, Deledio, twisting and turning reins. Back to Kane Johnson. Chip kick is okay if he can dive and get it, Simmons. Didn't get it. Deledio crumbs. Rolls the ball in Pettifer's direction just outside 50. Both missed it. Wheatley. Half held. Pettifer did well. This held him out of the contest. Goes with that high bomb. Big fly. White flies it.
He's trying to play on.
Schultz and White both had a fight. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
He was blindsided.
Both players had an equal mark on the ball. Both of you had an equal share of the ball. That's what it was play on. Thanks, Shane.
And that is an outstanding, that's the call of the year.
Yeah, I thought he was blindsided from where he came from, too. That is a great call.
McDonald, Davey, umpire Allen right on the ball. Dunn under the football. Leads back though, well played. Tivendale went to ground. Dunn didn't. About 3 good performances there from Dunn. Moore means time to Hyde. Hyde pulls it back towards midfield. Taken by Simmons. He's 70 metres from goal. Wheels around. Kicks for space. Richardson comes up. Left it behind. Well played. Holland slapped it across the Rivers. And now Johnston from half back. Terrible kick. Still okay though. Pickett took a while. Still going. Pickett heard the voice back to Johnston. Oh, clever. Johnston paddled it past Bowden. Kicks towards the pocket. Not position A. Meets him trying to keep it alive. Then his immediate opponent there, Gaspar. It comes back to him. And he misses out of bounds on the bounce.
Yeah, definitely went over in full, mate.
Oh.
Yours, Patrick.
The boundary played it out of bounds, but he wasn't in a good position. That is good umpiring again.
Well, I'd like to see that again.
Assisted by the goal umpire too, which the goal umpire puts the arm straight up to signal out in the full.
They've had a great minute, the men in green.
All right. Don't go on. Bowden short. Kellaway's got it.
Contested possession never been more important because now both sides have got one-on-one in their forward line.
Goal Bowden finds Johnson.
I thought Schultz was about 2 degrees more to the front than Jeff White in that marking contest, to be honest. Long kick, wide kick, that's out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, I don't think he got first touch on the footy, but I thought he got more of the ball thereafter.
Tip kick. Travis Johnston.
How long ago was that?
Short pass for Byron Pickett.
I make no mistake, it'll be talked about for a while.
Well, Carroll. Whelan held up on the wing, forced to go all the way back to Carroll. Play on, not 15. So he loads up with the long bomb. Where's Robbo? There he is. Just here. Joel Bowden was expecting the big leap. Felt for a bit of body.
There's nothing there, guys.
And there's your explanation.
Well, that can be also construed as a double action, which is generally paid as a free kick to the defender. You can stand your ground, but did he actually level himself into him?
He said the umpires were having a good couple of minutes. Robertson kicks and kicks his second.
1 minute, I think. I would have paid that as a free kick to Joel Bowden, I reckon, but it's in the book now, so it's irrelevant. Travis Johnson, the man who's not involved obviously here, but he's starting to get a bit of footy. They need to be careful, but again, one-on-one, so that's why possessions now start to mean a bit more. What about that, Dunn? You happy with that or not?
It's line ball. The one thing I'd say, Joel probably could have come back with a little bit more aggression.
Nine plays 2-4. Alarm bell sounding now for the Tigers. White on the way down. Tivendale couldn't control it. Johnson taken down by a couple of demons. Back to Tivendale. They move from Johnson to him immediately. And another ball up.
Richmond aren't a great finishing team for fourth quarters. White cracker, Foley on the bench.
Wide of the pack. A chance for Polo. Got through. Deledio held a long time. Tivendale falling to the ground. Got bootable inside the 50. Richo comes up. Bartram did well. Took him down. Richo surrounded. Coughed it up. Wheatley to Pickett. Melbourne seem to have all the answers at the moment. Pickett. Probing kick, a beauty. Running to space. Taken by Godfrey. Godfrey inside the 50. Robertson onto the football. At the back, a chance for Gaspar. Joel Bowden. Out of defence then. Kellaway comes up and takes the mark. Kellaway spots Polo. 45 plays 16 early in this third term on Friday Night Football. Polo, long ball. Richo didn't leave the ground. In from the side, knocked down by Rivers. Bartram applies a tackle. A lingering tackle, and Tambling gets the free.
Took him in the full 360 swing around here. Now Nathan Brown, I remember years and years ago, Jack Dyer said he's running where the ball isn't about a player. Famous Captain Blood. Nathan Brown at the moment, when the ball's coming in, he's doing exactly that. They've got to get some value out of him.
Tambling, always thin with that kick, just sneaks it in from behind.
a little lucky to get the free, but certainly evened up at the other end when Robertson also is fortunate. Johnston coming to the interchange bench. Kane Johnson comes with him.
Carroll to Uze to Wheatley, who marks on defensive 50. Took a couple of steps off his line. Spears the pass toward the wing. Dunn couldn't collect the mark. Tuck has been trying hard, but is spent. And he coughed it up. McDonald, Whelan, Green. Needs his direction. Got a hand to it. Got a push. Play on. Gasper. His handle missed the target. McDonald pokes it inside 50, and Ward takes the mark.
That's a tackling, Gas.
Yeah, great effort, Gasper wasn't initially, but then the pressure was overwhelming. Got swamped by 3 tacklers, turned the footy over.
They actually came at him in a wave.
Look, 1, 2, bang, turnover. Good vision, McDonald. They've just got a bit of a head of steam up here. The Tigers are battling.
Taking a lot of marks recently. Daniel Ward took 14 for the game last week, which was the game high. Having a better season just the 4 games last year. And they are on the ropes, the Tigers. Melbourne can smell it already.
Well, the game's bound to start getting a little bit more free-flowing in scoring because both teams are playing as good as man-on-man at both ends of the ground, which means that there's no way of clogging up the defence.
Well, they had to do that. They had to take a risk because they weren't going to score enough goals otherwise, but the danger is it opens up a bit.
I reckon they've gone too early.
No, I don't.
Good news for Melbourne. We were fearing that he could be gone for the night. Cameron Bruce is back out there. Richo takes a seat. They didn't change places. Melbourne have got 6 goals in a row now. Centre square infringement. For the umpire, Simmons comes up brandishing the football. And Richmond need to do something in the next 5 minutes or so. Comes out wide to Moore. Heard the call. Moore goes back to the middle then. Running hard, Patrick Bowden. Going down towards half forward. Time the release nicely to Rains. Long ball from behind Pettifer. Well, he didn't make a very good fist of that. Wheatley did. Knocked it back across the line.
Doing well, Wheatley on Pettifer. Has been the most dangerous Richmond forward all year. Just 6 touches for Pettifer.
Here's Uze. He's been quiet tonight.
Ward gets on the end of his pass. With a quick bring in from full-back. Sees the ball already to the wing. Ward backtracking almost to half-back. Hops the pass, McDonald. Not the kind of man you want to tease, really.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, that's what you call an idiot.
I don't know.
He's doing the right thing by his team.
Astute tactically.
He deserves a cuff over the ear in my book.
Well, you got 10 minutes. Go on.
Can I make it back in time?
Ball still in front of the interchange gate. Ward gets the call to play on. Kane Johnson just came off the bench. Was sneaking around behind him. Colin pokes the pass in Bartram's direction. Makes him work for it. Tambling grabs him. Forced to get the handball away. Wheatley. Tamling's got him as well. Kick inside 50. Bruce leads in the race for it. Polo's got him. Handball misses the target. Foley. They've got no loose men on the rebound. Just handball targets. Brown back to Foley. He can load up long to Pettifer. He's waiting in the goal square. He short passes to Lenio. Thought about playing on. Thought better of it.
Well, that was just well done by Richard Tambling in the middle of the ground. Had to keep himself in the contest. Eventually the footy gets turned over.
There was one danger area with that play, and that was that one, Nathan Brown. Getting him involved there, he was able to recognise that he was going to take and be tackled. So he got it and gave it off very quickly, and that was the breaker.
To stop this run, 6 goals in a row that Demon's end. He has missed big time. That was never even a chance, and he gets told about it by Jared Rivers.
A couple of rising stars just acquainting themselves.
Meantime, Whelan drives it around the outer side. That was a punishing kick and a very good one too under the chest of Sylvia. Off his step to Davey. Davey on the wing, comes back to Sylvia. And Melbourne dictating the terms again. Off his step. This time it's Ward. Ward runs down towards the 50, sends it long. Robbo Angling takes the mark. Well, he wanted to run, he wanted to fly, but grounded was good enough.
He's about to have his 16th possession. He's taken 11 marks. Now, you stack it up against his opponent, Joel Bowden, who is 23 possessions. I know we'll be given the points.
Here he comes, kicks his third.
Had eyes for the footy the whole time, so he's always going to get paid the mark. Might be worth having another look just on the replay. Watch his left hand. I think it just kind of
kick, isn't it?
Oh, so, yeah, penetrating kick. Watch the left arm, cuff him over the head. No, that's play on. Good decision. Oh, look, he's taken the points in a game that they've got 8 goals to, what are they, halfway through the third quarter. He's got 2 of them inside 50.
Well, Joel Bowden may have 23 possessions next to his name, but Russell Robertson has 16 possessions and 3 goals won. Simmons.
Play on.
Sylvia. Looks at wide, here they go again. Green. Neats is on the move. He's got it.
Thought about going Aaron Davey, who's running to the goal square. Just should go back, settle. Very quiet night.
Clean out of the centre here. Once they just absolutely strangled Richmond, who got first hands on the footy.
Just a 4-possession game so far for David Neitz. This well within his repertoire. Starts at left and may have left at left. Only a behind.
Joel Bowden.
They just haven't got a spark, Richmond. Nathan Brown's not doing it for them. Matthew Richardson's not doing it for them. I'm not sure where the spark's going to come, if it's going to come at all.
Bowden pushes up to the 50. Then goes by hand to Ryan, sold into trouble. Comes back to Johnson, who concedes back inside the 50. Foley decides to push up the ground. Takes on Sylvia. Robbo ran him down. Robertson from behind forced him to give it up. Melbourne get the footy back. Foley in 2 minds, and Robertson single-minded in the chase. Although Melbourne give it back. Cracker in short. Simmons on the wing.
The best Russell Robertson's been all year, I'd hazard a guess.
Yeah. Really got an appetite for it tonight, playing with a lot of energy. Here's Polo. He's going to be a very good player. Short. Delidio down towards half forward. Sliding in, Pettifer marks 60 metres from goal.
Schultz is the tall option. He leads to the pocket, which leaves Patterson.
Goes looking for Schultz and finds him. Interesting. Schultz at full forward. Richardson off the ground, but of course just back to football. Matthew Richardson.
He can play on and launch to the goal square.
Simmons has got it, about 65 metres out.
Very stop-start, isn't it?
Yeah.
No flow, no momentum.
Foley. Short, and then just put it up to 5 Melbourne defenders.
Ambitious.
Carroll, Uze. Yes. Can't fault his ambition. Green around the outer side. Gives the football to this man Johnston. Hasn't been required to do an awful lot tonight. Not his best kick either. Johnson goes back, takes the mark. Joel Bowden across half back. Inside the centre square now. Across the ground to Pettifer.
Got Tambling wide if he wants him, but Melbourne almost allowing that. Pokes it into the space that Tambling made, and Reigns backtracks. It was just 15.
There's no penetration. They've just almost got to go out and give the signal, we are playing on at all cost here, and run the footy.
They can't get to 50 metres with a possession.
They haven't got their big mark target down there, Richo. High bomb, big flyers go up home in the hole, and they can reload. Uze to Bruce, hoping for Wheatley. Ball slapped toward the boundary, and we'll get a ball in just on the Bowden situation. 25 possessions now, but similar story last year. Best and fairest last year, played all 22 games, got the most kicks for the season for Richmond, and was All-Australian, but not one Brownlow vote. So you can tell that some people like the way he's playing, some don't. And here he is again, Joel Bowden, and he's coughed it up to Wheatley. Pokes the pass in the direction of Sylvia, but bounces his away. It bounced poorly for him. Kane Johnson read it nicely, spears the pass Deledio. And he's held up.
Deledio goes in short. Schultz on a lead. Can't get there in time. Mark is taken by Whelan. Tiger faithful becoming restless. White on the wing. Too easily. Goes down towards half court and Sylvia. They've got the extra man, Melbourne. Sylvia, 70 metres out, just sets it up. Robertson coming to the football will mark it. He's almost impossible to get around in that situation. He spreads himself like few others.
This is so disappointing for Richmond on this big stage. They've been much better than this, but this would be one of their more disappointing outings. I know Hawthorn beat them a few weeks ago, which really cut deep, but they've not really given a yelp tonight. 16 tackles in this third quarter to 3. Melbourne have been far more physical. They've out-bustled them, out-hassled them, out-harassed them.
Not good. Robertson comes in and misses to the near side. Not good. I can't believe it. Smacks himself around.
He did it for the game.
Oh, Robbo.
Joel Bowden straight down the middle to Killaway. Who can run here. Deledio. You got recorded today. High kick. Richardson's back on. Hasn't got it though. Colin's right with him. Richo, who appeared to hurt his hand in the warm-up. He's got it. And those gloved hands, that wrist he was out with, seems to be bothering him. McDonald to Bartram. Here go the Demons again. Pokes it high. Joel Bowden will be the flyer. Sylvia could spoil. Two Tigers there. Killaway. Shepherds for Joel Bowden. Comes back inboard. And Foley takes the mark.
Foley inside the centre square. Under 5 minutes till three-quarter time. Polo once more. Coming up for his 12th possession. Pops it inside the 50 and standing his ground and taking a strong mark, Patterson. And then he goes out wide to Kellaway. Not a reputed goal kicker, but he will line up from about 35.
First real searching run or run inside 50 from a defender a la Rivers with Melbourne. Bowden's been freed of Robertson. Rain's now gone to Russell Robertson. And you've got to say that Danaher's read Joel Bowden pretty well. He's just prepared to let him go.
Boehner just went out to Robbo too. I think it was just for a drink. May have been slightly dazed. Here's Kellaway. Not bad. It's good. So they clear the line. Rivers says he touched it. Goal umpire says he didn't.
So your inference, Dennis, is that he's slightly dazed from self-inflicted.
I think so.
Repeatedly punched himself.
Well, I think they just went out to check is all.
Well, that's the first time to Andy Kellaway that they've had a possession inside 50, somewhere between 50 and 45 metres. Just on the score.
Fourth goal of the season for Andy Kellaway, and it was touched over the line. Just the 30th goal of his 171-game career. And he keeps the Tigers in with a sniff. White, beautiful palm down. Even the umpire liked it. McDonald, ridden.
He's just quietly got himself up to 19 possessions, James McDonald, and 12 marks. He's a marvel, this bloke.
Seems to be a standard performance this year. He goes wide with the kick. White lies, can't bring the mark down. Pettifer. Lending assistance at half back. Around the body, hoping for Tark. Green's with him. Tark, Green. Tucked up against the boundary again is Tivendale. And out of bounds might do it.
That was okay, fair tackle.
And we get a ball in. Umpire Matt Stevick is helping with the commentary.
Look at those Bowdens. You scoff. Patterson knocks it down. Hyde had it slapped away. Tivendale. Still going, Tivendale. Sylvia did well, applied some pressure. So did Tivendale. Found a man in white. He's at centre half back. 25 plays 59 to midfield. Can they muster a late goal? Hyde to Johnson. Tambling. 60 metres out. Richo wants it wide. Can the big fellow take a mark? It goes in that direction. Please, Richo. No. Knocked away by McDonald. Gary applauding the effort. Holland under pressure. Patterson couldn't control it. Green. McDonald having a wonderful season. Man on in the middle.
Super.
Dunn can run down to the 50. He can go inside the 50. Tambling is closing. He won't get there. Dunn will miss. Could have done better.
Now, I'm going to point out something here. Matthew Richardson went for that ball. He took his opponent to Shane Tuck, who wandered down from the wing and was without opponent, and Richo led out there and took his own opponent, who ended up spoiling Tuck.
Nathan Brown to Richo, couldn't get anywhere near it. Cracker having a good year, good couple of weeks, but can't find the goal mount this time. Freewheeling through the back line to Weekly and back again. Chips the ball. Tuck got a hand on it. That was enough. Still a chance for a late score. High inside 50. Patterson. White with He's making the mark. And maybe he might be winning this All-Australian battle with Troy Simmons. Whelan, wide, Uze. Nice hands in front of Kelvin Moore.
The body language of Richo moments ago, not too flash as the ball comes up towards the wing, admonishing his teammates who are under a lot of pressure. It can't be hand-delivered at the moment. Green, Johnson, pushed as he kicked. As a result, Brown is favoured by the kick. Coming up is Sylvia. He's been hard all night. Down goes Brown. Joel Bowden. White back to Joel Bowden. He's forward at the wing now with what is left side. Wood comes across and puts him down, and the ball is out of bounds and will be thrown in. A minute away from three-quarter time.
Great mark. The spoiled first, presence of mind to grab it on the way down, but that passage of play summed it up. They're like crabs, Richmond. They're going sideways. The pressure pushing them sideways.
They're stuck in the net as well. White inside 50 and Weekly saving mark.
It's been relentless to tackle pressure.
Those McDonald been relentless, but this time he goes down. Hands Richo a kick. Around the body by Richo. Delidio forced the rally. Oh, he went bang. Hit Travis Johnson. And the free kicks will go to Delidio.
You hit him in the head, right? You hit him across the shoulder, mate.
I don't think he got him across the shoulder. He got an errant knee in the rib kidney area. Not accidental, of course, but that would hurt. Around the hip, around the... Yeah, that will hurt. The sting.
Definitely accidental, Gary?
Oh, well. Yes, I would have thought so.
Either that or very, very well disguised.
There's certainly irony there, too. I mean, Richo was just complaining about how they were kicking the ball to him.
Delidio might not be able to take this kick. He can't. So Cracker will take it on the siren. This to keep the Tigers in with a chance of winning the game and maybe give them some momentum in a three-quarter time, and it's a shocker off the boot, and that tells the tale of Richmond's night. Nothing's gone for them, and at three-quarter time, and we'll go into the huddle with their heads bowed. Melbourne on fire, 8-12-60 for the Tigers, 3-8-26 on Friday Night Football.
Saturday, the biggest names of the game get you ready for the biggest games of the day. Live and exclusive from midday on Saturday Central. Live from 3 is this Mission Impossible. The Crows answer beautifully. The Hawks head to Amy Stadium to tackle the Crows. He's got it. Then, Brisbane's finals hopes will be put to the test against the desperate Kangaroos live from 7. Saturday Central from midday, live and exclusive. Crows, Hawks at 3, Kangaroos and Lions at 7, both live before Eagles, Swans and Bombers, Saints.
Whatever code of footy you're into, Rebel Sport have got you covered. We're your one-stop supporter shop. If your passion is AFL, you'll find everything you need in store, including official team guernseys, polos, caps, scarves, beanies, towels, balls, mugs, beers, car accessories and more. Get out there and show your true colours in style with a great range of AFL supporter merchandise available. And all at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Rebel Sport, your football destination. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
It's 1970 Blues versus Pies. Alex Jezelenko. Jezzy, you stand here. I'll be Mackay. Dave, you can be Durga Jenkins.
Little bit of leverage for Jezelenko. Lupiote.
Takes it to the wing position.
Oh, Jezelenko! Lupiote! Yeah!
Oi.
Yes!
Nice grab.
It happens all the time. Oh yeah. It gets into your mind. Oh yeah. A voice keeps telling you. Oh yeah. Only Hungry Jacks will do. Oh yeah. I just gotta have it. Oh yeah. Hey, let me at it. Oh yeah. Time's a Hungry Jacket. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wednesday on Headliners, an emotive call to arms is in full swing.
Get your stickers here up yours, Oakley!
A boss under siege.
I had guards on my home. Our kids have to be escorted to school.
The Dogs need $1.5 million in 19 days to stay alive.
Sat up in the stand, there was about 200 or 300 people. I thought, oh my God, they're gone. And then all of a sudden, people come from everywhere.
An extraordinary time in VFL history.
Too tough to die.
The conclusion to Footscray's Fight for Survival, Wednesday.
Friday night football, popular segment. The story so far, the co-tenants, Richmond and Melbourne. And the Bowdens early, plenty of the football as they've done all season. They combined for 21 disposals in a low-scoring first term. Just 2 goals came in the opening quarter. Melbourne got the first, Kane Pettifer the second. The first for the Tigers. Melbourne led by a point. It was a fine snapshot. What about this mark? Mark Jamar launches himself and takes it. At quarter time, as I said, a goal apiece. The margin, 2 points. Melbourne's way. Second term, Jay Schultz. Rare tonight. Marks inside the forward 50. Bowden coughs it up. Davey makes him pay the price. Melbourne by 7 points. Robbo! Oh, how about that for a screamer? Melbourne by 14 after his goal. At halftime, the margin 24. More Robbo. We love that. Bowden didn't like it, though. Melbourne out by 29 points. Ward, his first goal for the season. Melbourne by 34 points. They were pulling away. And how about this? Teasing the defence. Give it to me. Carroll. Well, never look away. And Kellaway, a rarity. Melbourne by 34 points. And that is the margin. We find ourselves at three-quarter time on this cool Friday night at the MCG. The Tigers with so much to do.
I wonder if that final scores. I wonder if that guy would do that to Nathan Carroll in the park with no fence between them. But anyway, 34.
Do it to Glenn Archer.
34 points the margin at three-quarter time. The tackles, boys, 21-5 that quarter in favour of Melbourne. That tells the story.
Well, a few weeks ago, I think it was made mention that David King said, the Richmond coach said, Melbourne are better without David Neitz up forward. Now, let's have a look at what he was talking about tonight. 3 goals to Robbo, 5 other goal kickers. David Neitz not one of them. And that there, my friends, suggests they are coming from everywhere because Neitz hasn't kicked any. He's not drawing the footy. He's a champion player. I'm not taking away from him. But Richmond just don't know who's going to bob up and kick a goal at the moment, so it's been spread right around.
Let's go to Tony Jones to the boundary.
Just very quickly, the Tigers, well, they copped a passionate address there from Terry Wallace at three-quarter time. They know they've got to get the first couple on the board. As for Neil Danaher, he said, don't go kicking it sideways, just kick it direct.
Margin 34 points and a few runners on the bench for the Tigers to start this final term. Umpire Allen to bounce it down. 60 plays, 26. The two ruckmen go at it. Simmons almost stole it away. Godfrey seen a lot of the football. Tambling robbed him of it that time. Delidio seems to be okay after that errant knee. Ball inside the 50. Up went Rivers. Couldn't hang on. Patterson. Bartram, though, emerges with it. Ward now. Godfrey. Out wide, intended for McDonald. Will advantage be paid? Godfrey's hurt. Pettifer goes across. That's interesting, to apologise. Meantime, Ward's kick is charged down by Tambling.
What's that generally mean when someone goes over to apologise? That they're worried that something might come of it?
I think it's good to see.
Go over there, put the knee in.
Boundary throw-in. Taken by Tuck. Hooks it down towards the 50. Nobody touched the football. Bounces awkwardly, arriving quickly as Green. Keeps it in front. He's on the 50, Green. Nicely done to McDonald. Did it get there in time? Play on's the call. See that he gets a hand pass away. Intended for Ward. Delidio. Well, straight to the opposition. The hand pass untidy though. Eventually Ward across to Godfrey. Rivers was involved before then. And now Uzo will get a free kick on the wing. He plays on immediately, but it will come back.
A turnover again at half-back is indicative of what's going on, the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
That is why Kane Pettiford might have been a little concerned, and that's a great smother from Tamling. But the pressure's got him. The Tigers haven't handled it, and they've turned the footy over.
Smother was good, except that he smothered it with his nose in the end, so he was groggy for a while. Uze, inside 50, Robertson, leapt from 4 deep, couldn't get anywhere near it. We'll get a ball in as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, he did mention Delio Dennis starting on the wing this quarter. Just a bruised hip he's sporting from that heavy hit he got with the knee, so he should be right.
White and Simmons. Simmons wins this one, gets the kick away, wobbles its way toward the boundary. It won't get there. Uze cuts it off, and the Demons can reload. Chips it around the body to Godfrey. Takes the mark. 70 out.
Been great as a late inclusion for Brock McLean. Simon Godfrey's played a super game.
20 possessions.
Gets the call to play on. The leads come. He pokes it to the pocket. Robbo, he got edged under it, and the mark's been taken in defence by Patrick Bowden.
Now, that's the possession he has to get to. He has to take a lot of them. He has to mark the ball from the opposition player's kick forward.
Been great, that kid too. Polo, been Richmond's best on Cameron Bruce.
Rains, taken by Patterson, who's working hard across half forward, providing a target at least. Little chip half-distance kick, working in front, Workley too easily. Took it away from Pettiford, goes across the ground. 2 to choose from. Uze has it. Pickett is on. Pickett's got it inside the centre square. Cruising past. This is Rivers. Runs beyond the wing. Pickett runs hardest. He's about 60 metres out now. He pulled away from a couple of Tigers who were close if they were prepared to work. Down there, Bruce dropped it. Sylvia goes to ground. Not before he got a hand pass away. Patrick Bowden, though, to Joel. We're like Don and Phil Emily. Out of defence. The kick comes from Joel. Bowden finds Kellaway.
Tambling, half back. Held up for a second. Goes with the shortish pass. Hyde.
50.
15 metres. Put on. And that might take him to within range.
He almost had to do that because it was, well, he didn't have to. It was a 2-on-1, and that's why he did it. And that's sort of an instinct, wasn't it? This is some of the run they've missed, from the likes of Hyde, who's had a very good year. Only 9 possessions. Tambling only 8 possessions. Andrew Cracker 5 possessions. They're the ball carriers.
Chips the kick inside 50 to Simmons, who, it's not 15, gets caught by White. Oh, 50! Well, White didn't know that he was going to play the mark for 15.
Someone says.
The Melbourne player called it. He was appealing for a no mark by yelling out not 15. Hoping that Troy Simmons would play on.
But did White, was White...
See if you see the mount working here.
White just used common sense to realise it wasn't 15.
Well, I think he Durn's on the money. I think he heard his teammates say not 15, thought it was the umpire.
No different to calling an opposition player to handball the ball to you.
Simmons slides it home, and the Richmond fans think they might stick around.
This opens a Pandora's box, Dern. Pandora's box.
Simon Godfrey yelled out, not 15.
Okay.
Watch him there. Now, there he is. Now he looks back to the umpire. See? And he's yelled it out. Now, Jeff White hears it.
Umpire paid the mark, absolutely, had his arm out.
And it's Simon Godfrey who's yelled out not 15, and his teammate thought it was the umpire.
You know what? It's only 28 points the margin.
Okay, so it was a Melbourne player, Dern, but hypothetically, what if it were a Richmond player?
Good tactic.
Bad luck.
Okay, just Pandora's box. White falls to the ground. Godfrey gets a hand pass away. Ward goes after it inside the centre square. Unwide in the wrong direction. They're rattled. The ball goes down towards the attacking 50 for the Tigers. Rivers gets across. Nonplussed. He goes looking for Pickett, who could have pushed in the back. No free kick. Delidio, the short one, advantage was played. Reaching in there, Whelan got a hand to it. Carroll comes again, tries to go back to Whelan instead. Tambling comes away with the football. They're a wet weather team. Tambling goes long inside the forward 50. Rivers goes back, tries to get it across to Bartram, who heads for the boundary line, and that will do.
Now, Daniel Ward kicked the ball the wrong way. What would you think, Gary, if someone from Essendon kick the ball that way after your article during the week.
Not a good time to be doing that. Davey's doing what every other player on top does, kicking it backwards to his teammate. This is 28 points to margin. If Richmond were get another goal, it would make it interesting. I know there's a little bit of light rain falling, but it just sort of snuck up on you a bit. You've had the feeling that Melbourne have been up by 40, 50 points, but instead it's back to 28. Mind you, they've only kicked 4 for the night.
So this contest has come from the clouds. White, Rivers sends it wide to Holland, all the way down to half back. He's held up, they're messing around with it. McDonald lifts the handball wide. He's going to kick the right way, Ward. He knows now. He gets long to half forward, and that's a bit of pass. Sylvia. He's got White inside 50. Jeff White waiting. He's going to load up.
Pop it over Robbo.
Sends it long. Gaspers there. Robbo! Don't you just love him?
Yeah, he had enough space when he led to the pocket, and he wasn't body-on-body pressure from his opponent, so you just knew he was going to get a free run at a lofted ball.
He's the beauty. He's the only man who bounces like Mick Foley when he lands.
Okay, let's watch him think it through here. He thought that through the goals. For goal number 4.
He is a beauty. He's had some knee problems. I think early in the year said that it probably should be operated on, but then he'd be out for a long time. But that's how a forward should play. You keep your defender honest. Joe Bowden can't stop and look where the footy is and work out where he's going to go. He's at that is a classical bit of forward footy there. He should be cut up for every youngster in the country.
Well done, Dennis. He did. It was as if he came off the top of the cage.
That's right.
Mankind.
Watch the bounce at the end,
Oh, I loved it. Off the turnbuckle, off the top of the roof of the cage match, bang, off the turnbuckle, and up he goes.
He worked hard for that. That is classic forward line footy.
Beautiful stuff. He's got 4 goals. Finally goal for Melbourne. Simmons has tried very hard. Pettifer, nobody apologised to him. He's got the free alongside the centre circles. Pops it out wide, Kellaway pushing up the ground, has got it on the wing, looks back towards centre half forward. Not a bad kick, Godfrey, wonderful courage.
Magnificent effort.
Fantastic. Juggled the mark, finds Neats. Sylvia is breaking for space, gets out of Robbo's airspace though, and Robbo comes up and takes the mark. Well, Sylvia stopped. I'm not sure anyone spoke to him, but he realised that was certainly restricted airspace.
Could show that vision to Matthew Richardson, couldn't you? There's the mark that set it up, but you're right, Sylvia realised that it was no good him going there. Robbo was on a hard lead.
Robertson at his 5th, looks pretty good, hits the post. Wow, more posters tonight than Beaver Cleaver's bedroom.
Joel Bowden coming to the interchange bench, which I reckon tells the story. He's played almost more minutes than any player in the comp. 30 possessions to his name. He's coming to the pine.
Patrick Bowden finds Simmons. When's your next book coming out, Dennis? Across the defensive
for a long time. Based on tonight.
Game Pettifer all the way back to centre half back to get a possession. And the rain coming down a little heavier now. Kane Johnson, Deledio, Nathan Brown over his head. It hasn't been a nice night for Nathan Brown. And Whelan gets the 50 as Nathan Brown grabbed it.
He's given Nathan Brown a nice old belting tonight. And just on Joel Bowden, the least interchange player in the competition, boys. He's been interchanged once before tonight.
One thing I'll say about Nathan tonight, and I hate to actually pull this up, he looks like he saw it in. Maybe once in every 3 or 4 weeks after a heavy workload he's going to still get that touch of soreness, but tonight.
Whelan to Davey to Neats. Had a fair bit of it, couldn't bring the mark down. Nice handball by Hyde, Tivendale, Pettifer. Gee, you're in Doc's territory there, Derm, too. Chip kick, good. White can't mark it on the wing.
We'll ask the Doc in a minute then.
Righto.
Has he just been well beaten?
Well, he looks okay here. Runs to 60 and Richo. Have a listen to this.
He'd want to kick it now. That's the first time he's had lace-out delivery for the evening. Once again, look, Nathan Brown in the midfield. He's been beaten by Whelan, hands down, when it's been a confined area of the forward line. Get him in the middle, see if we can use his... Like somebody's gobbing off from Melbourne. He's giving it back to them.
Davis Johnson in the general area, I reckon he'll be a fair bet.
5 disposals, no goals to Matthew Richardson tonight.
Good one.
He's got one. A bit of wallpaper over a big crack.
Yeah, a little bit of wallpaper. I don't know. I reckon sometimes I heard Wayne Carey talk about this theory about the very good players in the competition. We cut them a hell of a lot of slack when they don't play well. We automatically think they're injured or sore. I know there's some history with Nathan Brown, but I just reckon Matty Whelan might have had him well and truly covered.
And the light rain continues to fall. 9:13, 5-8, 12 minutes to go. Tigers still a flicker, but that's about all. Out of the middle by Foley. Over the football, Johnson. Foley goes again. Johnston, though, stole it for Melbourne. Plenty of support as he breaks out of the middle, goes down towards Neath, and/or guess who? Robbo now, 15 marks, a career high, lining up at his 5th goal. Match-winning performance.
No one-dimensional nature about this forward line, Dunn. You pointed that out earlier. Callaway's gone to him now, Joel Bowden on the bench. It's not him, it's Bruce can bob up, Green can bob up, Neitz can bob up, Davey kicks goals, Pickett kicks goals, but this bloke's been superb.
Russell Robertson, 10 metres in from the boundary, kicks, and this one just falls away to the right.
Nice.
Behind.
Nice strike, though. Go down to Doc Larkins on Nathan Brown. Doc, what's your theory? Is he sore or is he just slowly coming back to full fitness?
Well, all reports, even speaking to him directly, he's been quite happy with his leg soreness, so I think he's just probably had a night. This is pretty a signature game for him, as we know, given it was a Friday night game last year against Matty Whelan, so I think Matty Whelan's had him covered tonight, Gary.
Patrick Bowden with the kick into Callaway. He took some time about the kicking and he maybe was looking for Joel, who's on the bench. Didn't quite realise he was there. Callaway flicks it wide, not 15 Foley. Works his way through centre half back. Spears the pass, Nathan Brown. Strong hands. Good mark. Now the lead comes from Richo. It's in his direction. He's going to fly. Nice grab. I don't know, we were talking about it.
Oh, Benny Holland's a bit sore out of that.
Richo's got one of his gloves off as well on that injured hand or wrist.
I think he's got one in the... Can we say Nurries?
Sensitive.
Oh.
I think you can.
I think it was a teammate too.
Friendly fire.
Oh.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just a couple of occasions. Good ball use. Bit of room to lead into.
That one definitely wasn't deliberate. That was reckless. Wasn't intentional. Richardson from just outside 50. But from just inside, and that's a spear off the boot. Suddenly Richo's got 2, and Richmond for the chance.
Well, goals are what win your games, boys, and that is not the most profound thing I've ever said, but they only had 3 on the board at three-quarter time. They somehow had to find a way to kick more, and just opened up a little bit for them. Not surprisingly, 2 quality kicks from Nathan Brown. Been able to find Richo on the lead, who then goes back and kicks truly. So 24 points the margin, fair bit of time left.
I think we said it before in the words of Ron Burgundy. I've got a problem here and I'm trying to walk it off.
I reckon that's quad. I reckon that's got him in this almost
in the where?
Quad.
Oh, yeah.
9-14, 6-8. Jamar Uze out of the middle, inside the 50. Bruce falling to the ground. Tambling a little slow. Ward pushed it forward. That's a push in the back. No play goes on. Coming in is Foley. Was he held without it? Sylvia tackles him again, but not before he got the hand pass to Patterson. Callaway deep in his own defence, then kept his head nicely worked. Kevindale decides to go. The margin just 24 points. 9.5 minutes to go. Still life for the Tigers. They've been gutsy. They haven't been good, but they've been gutsy. Patrick Bowden intercepted by Davey. Got it across to McDonald. It'll come back, and Davey will get the free kick.
Richmond kick the next goal. We really have got a contest. Melbourne kick the next goal. You suspect that that will be the ball game.
Here's Ward. Not his best effort. Tippendale peels off half back then. Uses it nicely. Hyde's got it. 9 minutes to go. 68 plays 44. Over the head of Uze. Patterson has it now. Rains inside the centre square, looking towards half forward. Runners wide. Delidio's got it. Hurriedly onto the boot. Sets it towards right half forward. Back goes wide. 75 metres out from goal. Richo needs to come. Well, it's short of that. Mark taken by Tuck. Now Richo will be the target. He goes in that direction. Going back with courage down there, Rivers. Ball loose at the back. Wheatley in a test of strength, the 231s. And the result was good for Melbourne.
They can't play careful, can they, the Tigers, which they're doing the right thing. They're just taking the game on. They're daring to win, which you've got to do in this situation.
Good kick into Bruce to Ward, who holds it up at half back.
Now, what's
little nudge?
Did Richo turn his head because of the Rivers coming back, or was he appealing to the umpire while he was still in the air?
I think he was appealing to the umpire whilst in the air, which...
Wow.
That's an early shout there.
Yeah, but the earlier you get in, the more chance you've got.
That's like Dennis Lilly sending one down on a good length and appealing before it's wrapped the pack.
No, he wasn't appealing. No.
Melbourne recognising here that there is half a sniff, so they will just slow this right down and try and burn 2 minutes to snuff out any possible chance.
Bartram to Carroll to Whelan.
It's the right way to go. It's just to drag the tempo right back. If they keep playing this, run and just carry footy, well, it may work against them. So they're just taking the sting right out of this.
Bartram's got it again. We've played 18 minutes inside 8 to full time.
Just stay there, son.
Nobody on the mark. Yes, no need to play on. Sometimes footballers feel a little self-conscious, particularly young ones. Got it across to Sylvia inside the 50. An old head. McDonald goes up and claims it.
I gave him 11 marks earlier. I was looking at Russell Robertson, now the 24 instead of 23, but still he's had another very, very good night. 22 possessions, 7 marks, and 4 clearances. He's a star.
Yeah, he's been terrific all year long. Not just this season either. McDonald right behind him. As Gary said, the goal here would just about sink them. It comes across to Wheatley, who's a long ball man. Sends it goalward and misses. He kicked the first 9-pointer in the history of humans as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Vinnie Holland, just an update. Not a quad, not a cod, but just the groin. Got a corky just right on the adductor, just below the cod.
Tuck to Schultz.
Medical term, Doc.
Yes, that's right. Actually, it's docked backwards.
Very good.
Schultz is held up. Melbourne getting players back. Rains elects not to play off. 6 minutes and counting. To the pocket to Richo. And could this be one of those unique Richardson performances where he's unsighted for 3 quarters, but he drags them home with a big last term?
There's space in front of him for the first time tonight. In the last few minutes, he's had a little bit of space in front of him when the ball's been delivered.
Got 2 for the term. Doesn't like his chances. Inboard to Pettifer.
Well, he'll like his chances. He's a good goal kicker, Kane Pettifer. 17 points as a drag it back to 5 minutes left on the clock.
12 possessions tonight for Kane Pettifer. 11 of them kicks. That was his 6th mark. He has 1 goal. From the paint. Starts it left. Brings it back. Not enough. A behind.
Yeah, he kicked that one out of the instep, so early call there. It'll travel.
Oh, wow. Ward takes the mark, and Bowden had a decision to make, and he decided, I think, just to slow down his approach there.
Blood rule.
That's a go, mate. Hey? No, I thought it was just in the contest, okay?
Amazing, isn't it? You hold somebody by the jumper for 1.5 seconds, and you get 50 metres, and you get punched in the head,
and you get looked at.
Yeah,
on more than one occasion.
Well, but it doesn't matter anymore after what we saw this week, does it? I mean, he said, I suppose in his evidence come this week, that he was aiming at the footy. What he'll say.
That's is that a bit of, it's almost like the Cloak Edwards one of years gone by, isn't it?
Very similar position on the ground, too.
Just the grand final.
Ward had a word to him as he went past, leaving the ground under the blood rule. This is Johnson. The mark is taken low down by Johnson.
Joel Bowden off the ground now as well.
Short. Green, can he keep it in? Well, Rains manages to get Green out and keep the football in. Drives it down towards half forward. Carroll will fly from behind and take a very good grab. No need to hurry, says Carroll. And those men running past for the handball have gone deeper for the kick. Whelan takes the mark inside the centre square, and Wheatley goes still further. McDonald is on for the short one. McDonald has it now and can wait for the man to come across and pick up the mark. Doesn't waste too much time, goes to Bartram. And that was the folly of the decision of the tribunal this week, the fact that only the player who may swing or punch or whatever knows what he's aiming at. Who else could get into his mind? If he tells you that's what I was aiming at, you've got a dilemma right there and then.
You'll never get an intentional decision ever.
Now, let me just pass comment on that. Was anyone on the tribunal been reported and done and suspended in the past?
I don't know.
Adjudicated?
We need you up there.
Because I can tell you 99 times out of 100, in that situation, you know where your fist is going.
Thank you, Doom.
I think we need you there, Doom, a man of the people. As the kick goes down towards the pocket, off hands, Sylvia fell over. Foley has tried hard, gets it out of the congestion.
Joel Bowden certainly doesn't need you there, though, Doom. Nathan Brown, the Ledio. 3 minutes to full time.
It's interesting too that, I mean, Joel's a wonderful player, but just you wonder about his setup for the team. They've played their best patches of footy while he hasn't been on the ground.
Simmons to Schultz. 2 broad grabs in a row. Loads up. Richardson's on the move. Carroll's with him. 1 grab. Richardson fights on. Byron's got him. Richo's still got it. It's held in the pack. Good defence by Melbourne. We'll get a ball up. Byron. 23 points the margin. 2 minutes 45 remaining.
Byron crocodile rolled him.
White gets very high, thumps it towards the line. Bruce hugs the boundary line with a hand pass. Had a couple to choose from. Johnston, a little chip. And the mark is taken by Uze.
You reckon he gave it up? Yeah, he was doing it as well.
Yeah, I heard it on the umpire mic.
Uze told to play on. Close to the boundary. They'll keep it there. Green. Over the top to McDonald. Very adept at playing this sort of game, McDonald. Bobbing up between the lines to Johnson. Well, Johnson sold into trouble. Down he goes. He was playing strongly. It was Hyde that got him. It was a polar.
Poor handball mistake by McDonald. One of the few blues he's made. But you wonder about opposition clubs when they look at James McDonald and think, not going to worry about him. 25 touches now. He's Melbourne's leading possession winner on the ground.
Young Polo has been very good. Comes across to White.
4 goals, the margin. Inside 2 minutes, Foley. Held up, chips the kick, Chambling. Gets there just in time on defensive 50. Move's been made on the bench, which means the cracker was free for a fleeting moment. Byron Pickett tries to shut him down. Ball long, Nathan Brown on the move. Takes the mark.
Why Melbourne would be happy tonight. They got this victory here, and Browning's had a shocker and acknowledges that fact.
Over to you or the bad pass?
Cameron Bruce has done virtually nothing, and Travis Johnston has been very quiet. They're probably their 2 best players for the year.
We've got 70 seconds to go, and Richmond haven't hit 300 possessions. And yet the Bowden brothers have had 55 between them, so they've got 55 out of 300, and they've got them all in defence.
But you know what else they did? They meandered. They had no hard running.
Davey wants to put a full stop on all this. Runs to the 50, sends the long drop punt towards goal, across the face. Rivers takes the mark, but it's over the line. Only a behind.
Well, this was a pivotal match tonight for the Tigers, and of course for Melbourne as well. Both harbouring different ambitions. Melbourne looking at the top 4 And they'll improve their record to 11-4. They started tonight in 3rd place. And maybe a spot in the top 2 is not beyond them. This is Bowden as umpire Allen pays advantage. From 70 metres out goes long down towards full forward. Simmons.
So it's going to be a 3-goal victory, which I guess on the flatters Richmond, I would have thought.
Absolutely. But they could take some consolation, I guess, from that.
Yeah, they could. And again, it's forward to centre where they just need to do some restructuring.
There's the siren. Simmons puts it through for a goal. His second. But Melbourne prevail. They led at every change. They dominated the game. And as we were just saying, perhaps the result does flatter the Tigers. Melbourne, a lot of posters in that 9-16. What was it, 6 posters? And the Tigers 7-10. The margin at the finish, though, just 18 points.
You'd have to wonder now, same position as last year, 14-game mark. They had 8 wins, 6 losses, and then it all went horribly wrong. What is the medal resolve of this group? They haven't been disgraced on the scoreboard. They weren't as good as a 3-goal loss to Melbourne as it sounds. What happens now? Because this team's got some scars from the last 3-4 years, and they've got there's no easy games. It's league football.
At what they got coming up, but Sydney next week for a start for the Tigers is not going to be easy. And as you said, Dunn, secure to the week after that. So there's 2 hard ones, and then the Western Bulldogs. So 3 very tough weeks for this side. It was a big game tonight. Big result for the Demons, and the best man on the ground put on a show for us on Friday night footy. He loves the cameras. Tony Jones with Russell Robertson.
Well, Russell, congratulations. It wasn't the prettiest of games in the first half, but not too many Melbourne supporters be walking away disappointed.
Nah, look, good to see that they're all still in the stands, mate. And good to beat Richmond here at the G. Big game, big stadium, absolutely awestruck every time I come out here, mate. It's amazing.
Well, let's talk about you for a minute. A career best 15 marks tonight. You're in terrific touch.
It's a funny old game, this football, mate. Last week couldn't even get a touch, and this week, you know, forward lines like that sometimes. But look, the delivery was fantastic. A lot of missed shots tonight. That probably didn't flatter the scoreboard a lot for both sides. But look, we just keep plugging away with our blue-collar work ethic, and I just love the backmen at the moment. They're fantastic, and the midfielders obviously getting it out for us, so it's great.
Well, the blue-collar work ethic, I think it used to be the white-collar in the old days, but anyway, you've also picked up this, mate.
What's that?
It's a book. No, it's not. It's a... for us, Russ, and show us what you've won. There it is. Now, that's the Berry Street, of course, sponsors of this contest tonight. So, Melbourne Footy Club has won the Berry Street Trophy, and you've won that for the most courageous player, as judged by our commentators.
That's a huge honour. Berry Street are a fantastic organisation, obviously do a lot of great things for a lot of people, so thanks very much to Berry Street, and all the Demon supporters. Keep coming and watching us.
Good on you, mate.
Yes, very well done. Philosophical, Robbo, after the game.
Did we vote on that?
Yep, I just did that on the way down.
So Simon Godfrey, when it truly comes to courageous, Godfrey didn't vote.
No, I didn't vote on the most courageous.
Oh, right, okay.
I voted on I thought was best on ground.
Courageous and best, apparently. That's what.
Well, Simon Godfrey was superb as well. But as I said earlier, there were a few Demons who were down tonight, which makes, I guess, the victory even more impressive if it was an impressive victory. That's what the Demons got coming up. They head over to Freo. They head over to Sylvia and play Freo. Then the Dogs, the Blues and the Swans. So 2 sides outside the 8, 2 sides inside the 8. No easy games, as Dermot has rightfully pointed out. But I reckon they'll just be happy to take the victory. It was a big stage. The Tigers have won 8 of 11, so they've been in good form. And now Melbourne stretched their sequence to 11 wins from 12 starts, which after losing your first 3, quite superb.
Well, at least tonight they move up the ladder too. They'll pass the West Coast Eagles, I would think. Their percentage is slightly better. The West Coast Eagles, of course, still to play this round. They've got a home game against Sydney on Saturday night. But Melbourne right on the chop-up now for a finish in the top 2. And, of course, if they can do that, they would be the leading contender at this stage at least from Victoria, I would think.
And a lot of the teams just outside the 8 will be pretty happy.